Hi everyone, this is Shalu Kumar again from OSCE Nurse Training Cambridge. I'm an experienced OSCE Nurse trainer for the NMC OSCE exam in UK and also the lead trainer for OSCE Nurse Training Cambridge. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another NMC OSCE video for you. So if you like my channel and my videos, please keep sending those lovely comments. I really like them and I try to answer as many questions as I can do in my time. So keep them coming, and if you like my channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your friends and other nurses who've been preparing for OSCE exam. Okay, the whole purpose of me doing this video is to get to as many people as possible so they can it can be helpful in revision and hopefully passing your exam. Okay, so today's topic is all about the Viva information, which the process has been in place since November 2023, October 2023, but now we are seeing a lot more from the test center, this being applied by your examiner. So what it is, so keep watching, it's really interesting because it might happen to you in your exam day and you then need to have information how you can use this wisely. So this is a opportunity given to you by your examiner. If you say you did not do something right in your exam in your station, and examiner think rest of the station was fine but there was a small mistake, so they might ask you a question and you might be able to rectify your mistake. I'm going to talk about a little bit more in detail how it's applied and all that stuff, but that is the basic idea. So it's really interesting that you listen to this throughout and see how it works in exam. Like I said, it's been in place now for 8-9 months, but we're really seeing this now being applied in real practice in exam centers, and it's applicable to all 5 exam centers run by the NMC for OSCE exam. So listen to this carefully because it might happen to you on your exam day. So I'm going to explain. There is a lot of information on NMC website you can see, but I'm going to simplify and let you know what it means. Right. So what is Viva? The word Viva means verbal examination. We all had in our nursing degrees or diplomas, wherever we did our nursing, we did have some oral examination. So this is a Viva exam. So what is Viva? Viva is an opportunity that allows candidates who are performing well to verbally rectify an omission at the end of the station. So basically what does it mean is that you did the station really well, but you definitely forgotten, you omitted something, and that would fail you in that station. Okay, on the marking criteria that would be a fail because you omitted to do something on the marking criteria. But if your examiner then asks you a question and gives you the opportunity, then you can rectify that mistake. That's what it means. It is used where a candidate fail to demonstrate their knowledge of one of the points on the marking scheme, and will only be applied during a first attempt examination. So that's what it means. So it means is you have made a mistake in the station and you've forgotten to do something, and then at the end your examiner can ask you, and if you answer that correctly, that mistake, then you can still have the opportunity to pass that station. So that's what it means. But how many stations it can be applied to, how is applied, so let's look at that next. Okay, so how many times your examiner can ask you a question at the end of your station to give you an opportunity to pass that station, because they already know that you omitted something. Okay, you may not know, but they already know. So they can ask you question on the omission, and if you answer that correctly, you can still pass the station. So that's the basic idea. But how many times? Let's go on the next screen. So how many times? A Viva can only be applied once per OSCE exams. Okay, so there are lots of rumors out there that at the end of every station you can tell the examiner if you made mistakes and they will take that into account. That is not true at all. It can only be just in one of the stations. Okay, so the Viva can only be applied once per OSCE exam. Out of 10 stations, the opportunity is only available once. Okay, so that's really important to keep in mind. It cannot be applied to the silent written station. There is no Viva application to the silent written station, or to rectify poor technique in practical skills. Okay, so if you're doing ANTT and you decontaminated your field, or contaminated your field or contaminated your gloves, or you were doing inhaler but your technique is incorrect, you're giving IM injection and you didn't do the drug check. It's not for that purpose. Okay, so it's not for poor technique for clinical scale, and it is definitely not applied to your written silent station. Okay, it is not currently applied to the resits. So if you're having a resit exam, it will not be applied to you. Okay, so the opportunity is not available for the resit exam. It's only for the first try and only applicable to one station in the whole 10 station, only just one station. When is it applied? So when does examiner apply it? So the examiner will ask a question at the end of the station, and the candidate will have an opportunity to provide a verbal rectification. Second point to think is it can be applied by the examiner only when the timer reaches 0. Okay, so they're not gonna stop you in the middle of the station. It's just that when the time has finished, the examiner then can, when the time reaches 0, and if the examiner recognize an omission within the station time. So you did a station and they definitely recognize that omitted something you should have done in the marking criteria, but you didn't do. So when your timer finish at the 0, then they will ask you that question. So it includes a question being asked by the examiner, and the candidate will have an opportunity to provide a verbal clarification. Okay, so like say you did everything but you forgotten to check patient allergy. Now that is a big critical point. Okay, and then that was the only mistake you made in that station. Your examiner can ask you that at the end, and if you say that correctly, then of course you have the opportunity to pass. It depends on the how big the mistake as well. Okay, and like say for example you omitted to add you done all the rest of the charting for whatever station you were doing, say medicine, but you forgotten one signature, and your examiner noticed that, and when your timer finish, they can ask you a question, and if you verbally correctly answer how you would do it, then it's fine, they can take that into account. But you will not be allowed to really change any of the written records. You can verbally tell the examiner, that's why I forgotten to sign, because I should have signed but I didn't sign for that, but I would sign it like this. But you are not going to get the records back to sign it again, but they can still take that into consideration, the verbal response you have given, how you will sign it. Okay, so that is just one of the example. So that's how when it's applied. It's applied at the end of the station when your timer is finished. Your examiner already know you made a omission, you should have done something in the station but you didn't do, so they can ask you a question, and if you answer correctly what you should have done for that point, then they can take that into consideration. Okay, and the correct answer has to be correct. That's the only way they can then pass you that station. Okay, can you request one? So if your examiner is not asking you question at the end of a station and you definitely know that you done something wrong, can you ask your examiner to apply Viva process to you? No, that doesn't. It really is choice by the examiner. Okay, candidates cannot request a Viva. It is applied automatically by the assessor following the process, whatever process I'm outlining for you. So it can only be applied once, and it's applied by your examiner by their own choice. You cannot request a Viva in the OSCE exam. Okay. So what are the circumstances where would a Viva not be applicable when your examiner doesn't want to apply this process? It cannot be applied if a candidate does not demonstrate safety or competence in the station. Okay, so if they have failed on lots of points and they are not showing safe practice, is no way examiner is going to apply the Viva process, because it's no benefit. It's only for just one mistake. Okay, rest of the station was good, you shown good safe practice, competent practice, but you forgotten something, one thing, then it can be applied, but it cannot be applied if the examiner know your practice is not safe and you're not shown competence. Okay, it will be offered at the first opportunity, whenever they want to. So when they think that you have done the station right but just one mistake, they can apply this process, but don't expect it to be applied if the patient safety was compromised and you did not show competence otherwise in the station. Okay. Next one is how it affects your exam result. Of course it affects your exam result, because if you did the station really well and only made one mistake, examiner at the end asks you a question and you answered it correctly, you can still pass the station. So it has a huge impact on your exam, but only on one of the stations. Okay. So you have the opportunity to correct your mistake in one of the stations. Okay. So if the candidate correctly rectifies the omission, the examiner will mark the station as a pass. Okay. However, if the candidate does not provide the correct rectification for the mistake they made when examiner asking you the question, you don't have the correct answer, it would still be a fail. Okay. Can I make an appeal if my examiner did not apply a Viva? No. It's their choice. Whether they want to apply A or not, the examiner will make that decision. You cannot appeal because the examiner did not ask you question at the end, so you could rectify it. You were not given the opportunity to rectify. It doesn't work like that. It's examiner decision whether to ask the question at the end of the station, and it only applies to one station anyway. Okay, so you cannot appeal that process. Okay. Does it make any difference to your preparation? Really not. You should prepare for your OSCE as you should, because there are a lot of rumors, like I told you, out there where people are now thinking at the end of every station, I can just count my mistakes and I can tell the examiner I should have done this, I should have done this, I should have done this, I should have done this. I'm afraid that does not count. Okay. I cannot be more clear on this. It does not apply. It doesn't matter what is said out there. That's not the Viva process. Viva process, in summary, only applies to one station if your examiner wants to apply it. Okay. You cannot request it. Only examiner think that you will benefit from that, they will apply that, and it only applies to one station only. So you can see it shouldn't make any change in your preparation. So don't be in any misunderstanding, oh, it's fine to make mistakes because I can just say at the end of the stations, I should have done this, I should have done this, I should have done this because I heard this from my friends and it should be okay. No, it's not okay. Okay. So you need to prepare your exam as per the marking criteria set by NMC for every single station. Okay. It should not make any change to preparation for your exam. So in summary, what we learned, it doesn't make any change to your preparation, but it can make change to one of your stations where you did everything right, but you forgotten one thing, and then examiner asks you the question and you can rectify your mistake. That's the simple answer. Okay, so that's the summary of it. Basically, only applies to one station. It's your examiner's choice. An examiner asks you a question because they know you omitted something in that station, but rest of the station was absolutely fine. Okay, you didn't compromise patient safety, you shown the competence, but you did one little mistake. So they can ask you question once your timer is finished, but only on one station out of the 10. Doesn't apply to written station, doesn't apply to resit exams, only apply to the first exam in first try, first attempt, and one station only. Okay, so don't think you can rectify your mistakes in every station by saying at the end. That is not possible. So you should prepare as per marking criteria and be ready to show your competence as it is in the marking criteria set by the NMC. So that's what the summary is. Okay, so I hope you have a little bit better understanding of this. Yes, it can help you if you make a genuine small mistake. That's definitely, but don't listen to any other rumors out there. Okay, I hope this helped you and clarify this process for you. So if you like my video, please press the like button now and subscribe to my channel. You can also visit us on OSCEnurstraining.com or email us on OSCEnurstraining@outlook.com. We provide both online and face-to-face OSCE training. I will soon be back with another video for you. So bye for now.